welcome to today's podcast. My name is Tammy, and I'm here with one of my MBA intern colleague. He's going to be telling a little bit about himself. So I want to welcome you guys to today's podcast, and I hope you are going to get value and you get so much insight. Hi, Kent. How are you doing?
I'm good. Good to speak.
How was your day?
Day's been really good. It's been fairly light. Been able to kind of have my casual meetings and then get work done. So it's been nice.
Okay, so 8 weeks so far. How do you feel?
I feel really good. At first there was a whirlwind of things trying to make sure you stay on top of all the intern events, staying in tune with everything that's going on in the marketing org.
Yeah.
But now things have settled. I'm fully entrenched in my project and learning a lot and doing the right thing. So having a good time.
All right. So let's think a little bit about you. Can you tell us a little bit about your background, right? What school are you in right now? And a little bit backward, what were you doing before you actually got into your MBA, and why did you decide that this was the right time for you to get into your MBA?
Got it. Okay. So for me, I'll give background first. Originally from Durham, North Carolina. So
okay.
Southern guy, loving the East Coast.
Yeah, man.
Went to UNC Chapel Hill undergrad, studied business there, and also played football, but realized, I wanted to pursue a more stable career. So chose consulting and financial services. That's where the money was.
Okay.
Yeah. So started off with that, and then realized, I still had a love for sports, and wanted to see if there was a possibility of me like incorporating that into my profession.
Yeah.
So chose to get my MBA at UCLA Anderson, which is what I did right before the Microsoft internship, and it's been good. Learned a lot about like how to really pursue a career, whether that be in sports, within marketing tech, and like ultimately knew that like I wanted to put myself in the best position possible.
Yeah.
So going to UCLA was the best fit for me.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that really makes sense. So far, when would you say that you started your the phase of you applying for an internship, right? And what industry did you look out for when you were applying for the internship application program?
Okay, good question. So for me, my route is a little bit different because, my initial thought of going to get an MBA was I'll do this to pursue a career in sports. But what I realized is that like, sports career recruiting is a lot different than other industries. And so for sports, they usually don't start recruiting until December. Which is way after all the other industries recruiting.
You get settled already.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, I can't wait until December to throw out my first application.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I want to go into partnerships. And the best route to do that is either through marketing or business development. And so the highest paying marketing jobs are all within technology.
Obviously. That's where the money is, man. You have to follow the money.
Yes, look, I love my passion, but I like being able to afford my lifestyle too.
All right, man.
Yeah. But yeah, so then I started looking at, what are the best companies for like tech marketing. And so Microsoft. And naturally, Microsoft is a big sports partnership company.
Yeah.
So I was like, things are lining up, even though I'm going the product marketing route. Being in the organization will allow me to learn what I need to. So that kind of is what led me to apply to Microsoft, because that application deadline was October 1st, if I remember correctly.
Wow. So what resources did you use in your application period? Like, what exactly did you use in helping you for you to do your application smoothly?
Yeah. So let me clarify what helped me complete my application.
Yes.
Okay. I used a lot. I relied a lot on myself because I knew like I had done so many different applications and so many interviews at that point that like I knew the type of information people were going to be asking for, knew how to frame it. But like once I kind of got my application in a position where I felt comfortable with it, I like started to reach out to my peer group. And ask them like, hey, can you like review this for me? Make sure it sounds good. And then I would just practice my my elevator pitch, short-term, long-term goals, all of that, or like the why particular company with my peers, and talk to different alumni in second years at my program that also interned at Microsoft.
Oh, that's cool.
Because all of their insights were helpful in me, one, understanding like what I need to talk to in the interview, and two, just like getting more information on the company.
Okay. Yeah. So basically you actually had the advantage of people.
Yes.
And you utilize people to review the things that you've already done or the things that you started in. So apart from Microsoft, did you apply to any other company? Like how many companies did you apply to?
So I applied to a couple. I haven't thought about the number, but
was it more than 10?
No, wasn't more than 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
When most people tell me that they apply to just less than 10, like, shit, really?
Yeah.
Like, most of them we applying to like 50, 60 something and less than 10. How did you do that? Like, how?
Yeah.
What's the secret?
So it's no real secret. It's just I knew that I wanted a particular experience. And there were only certain roles that I wanted to explore.
Yeah.
So I applied to positions at Nike, applied to positions at PepsiCo. Again, as you see, there's a common trend amongst like sports brands that are also big corporations. Also applied to Miller Coors or Molson Coors. Like these are all of the big brands. Some of them in CPG. Yeah. But like they were all kind of marketing focused or strategy aligned. So that's kind of like what I was looking for in my experience.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah. So apart from Microsoft, did you had any other interview?
Yeah. So I interviewed at all the other companies I just talked about, Molson Coors, Nike, PepsiCo.
Wow, that's super awesome. That's awesome. So let's talk about the Microsoft for the Microsoft interview. When did you find out that you got the invitation for your interview? I believe that you submitted before the deadline in October, right?
Yeah.
And when did you get a feedback, and how did you feel when you got Microsoft?
So the turnaround time was actually quicker than I expected.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like I applied, the deadline was October 1st. I think I may have, timeline is a little bit hazy now because it was almost a year ago, but like I remember I think I got a notification that I got an interview invite maybe a week or two afterwards. Yeah. Had my interviews, there were 3 interviews, I can talk through that in a second. Yeah. But then after that, I think a week or two later, I got the offer, and like I had everything signed by like the first week of November. So, and look, as someone that's like very risk averse, and that like certainty in their lives, having that in November and not having to recruit anymore, I was like, perfect. This is cool.
You're settled, man. Like this is settled.
Yeah, like I was cool. But yeah, that was kind of the journey for me with Microsoft recruiting. Yeah.
So let's dive deep into the interview process, right? How was the interview process? Because I know a couple of companies, they have like cases, some have technical questions, some have behavioral questions. How was it with Microsoft, and how did you prepare for your interview?
Got it. So yeah, I'll talk about the interview prep first, and then I'll go into the interview structure. Yeah. But for me, the biggest things that I kind of knew going into the interview is that I always like to know about the company, because when you're applying for a job, you kind of have to exude the company's values and missions to show that you're a good fit.
Exactly.
But you have to do it in a way that's genuine and authentic. So like I looked at the values and I looked at the mission. I said, does this relate to me? Because it's like a two-way interview. You're interviewing the company and they're interviewing you to see if it's a good fit.
True.
So I did all my research on like mission and values, all that stuff. Also looked at the product and services, because I was like, I need to know what to talk to and like find something that I like in particular, because 9 times out of 10, if you're working or applying for a job that sells products and services, they might ask you a question about like, what's your favorite product?
True.
So you need to know what they do. So I did all the research on that as well. And then lastly, kind of looked up my interviewers once they sent me who I was going to be talking to.
Did they send you who you're talking to?
Yeah, I got that beforehand.
Wow, I didn't get that.
Really?
I didn't get that. So they just told me that it's going to be a 3-phase interview back to back. I'm going to have 45 minutes. It was after I finished my interview, that was when I found out who I interviewed with. I didn't know who I would get.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, I forget like how cause to the interview date I got the names, but when I got them, I went and looked them up because I was like,
on LinkedIn, right?
Yeah. Because like the unspoken rule of interviewing is like knowing your interviewer.
True.
Because you have to find a way to connect with them. Yeah, exactly. So once I figured out, that was the last part of the prep.
Yeah.
I figured out how I could relate to all of my interviewers and use it as a way to like build rapport in the first 5 minutes, and that made the rest of the interview really smooth. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. So
now, so that was the prep.
Okay. So the interview process now.
So interview process, it was 3 interviews back to back. The way they kind of structured it is that first interview is really more behavioral. They're going to ask you all the typical behavior questions. Tell me about a time you did this. And that's really just assessing like the company fit. Actually got very, very lucky with that because I talked with another young woman she's African American like myself. Okay. And she was actually based in Atlanta, so she's from the South. So of course, we had a lot of similarities there. So that was nice. Second interview was definitely more technical. Okay. And I guess the intent was to really assess my ability to deliver results.
Yeah, growth mindsets.
Exactly. So understanding what experience I have within a technical capacity and like understanding how I work within a team was kind of what I was assessing that second interview. Yeah. And then the last one was more of like a case analysis. So yeah, they basically wanted to assess how well you thought in a particular product scenario, because they were going to use that to determine which pillar of the 4 Ps to place you in. And so because I have a background in financial services, it's only natural. I got aligned to the price pillar.
Yeah, so, obviously. Yeah. Obviously, man. I know, right? Yeah. The money speaks.
Exactly.
Wow. That's really cool because I've spoken with some people and they say it's just purely behavioral for all 3. Why some people say they had a little bit of technical, why some people say they were interview based on the 4 Ps, right?
Yeah.
The price, the products, the promotion, and what's the last one?
It's place.
Yeah. That's true. Hi everyone. I know that you're enjoying the Interns Connect Show. From our analytics, we noticed that 90% of you all that are listening have not yet subscribed. So what I want you guys to do for me right now, I want you to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and drop a comment for us because this will help us improve the show and give you valuable content. Thank you guys. Go hit the subscribe button right now. See you soon. All right. So how long did it take before you got your feedback that you're going to be getting your interview, like you've been shortlisted?
Yeah. Like when I got the offer?
Yes. How long did it take?
Probably another like 2 weeks. I think the first was maybe like a Friday or a Saturday.
Yes. The interview was a Friday.
Yeah, my interview was a Friday, like 2 weeks later.
Yes.
And then I think I found out maybe a week or 2 later that I got the offer.
Wow.
Because I think my decision deadline was, they give you the 2, whereas like, I'm thinking about a different interview where they I had an interview or like a interview offer.
Yeah.
Where it was like, except by this deadline to keep this amount of your bonus.
Wow.
And if you accept after this deadline, then you get another amount.
Are you serious?
Which was like half, yeah.
Wow.
But Microsoft didn't do that.
No, Microsoft.
Yeah, I was thinking about a different
one. But out of all the offers you got, right? Why did you choose Microsoft over the others?
Truthfully, it was the benefits.
Obviously.
But so no, like that aside, again, I know I have a desire to work in sports at some point in my life.
Yeah.
And like I had 2 offers with brands that were very prominent within the sports world.
Okay.
But Microsoft's partnerships are just a little bit stronger. And understanding how global Microsoft is as a company, and seeing its performance in the market, it's like it's a no-brainer to come here.
Yeah, true. All right. So you've done pretty much 8 weeks in your internship. So how has it been your experience being part of Microsoft for the past 8 weeks?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, you kind of seen like the camaraderie we have within our intern cohort.
Right?
It's amazing. Like, and I didn't realize that our process and our like experience was unique because we're like one of the only cohorts or the only programs that has an actual cohort.
True.
So it's been good to kind of learn and talk to everybody else within our class.
Yeah.
From like the project side of things, I've had a very phenomenal experience because I have a really good manager. Like I think that's her being so open and receptive to like feedback and like being supportive the way that she is has helped me kind of have the confidence I need to lead my own project because it's very much a self-paced project for me. And with a lot of ambiguity like my project has, you need kind of that flexibility and the support to like sustain you and complement your success.
Yeah.
But that's been really good. And then I just been able to talk to any and everybody I want to here. Like I don't really have a lot of complaints because it's just everybody's super welcoming.
Yeah.
Everybody's really nice. And like you think in the beginning, like, okay, this is a facade. Like people are just doing this because we just started. But like they're consistent with it. So I think I love all of those aspects of the process. Yeah. So
another thing I heard or I was told is that, people are very receptive to interns, right? Because obviously one is that you're new, and two is that most people were once an intern, right? Because my manager, she's currently 10 years in Microsoft, but she started as an intern. So you know that most people, they see themselves as a reflection of you when they started, and they know how they were able to find the ambiguity and be able to find true ways in difficulty. So they give a lot of receptiveness to interns. I even remember during my project, right? Because I was an intern, I was able to speak to a couple of stakeholders that they didn't have time. Like they're like, "Oh, you're an intern. Oh, no, fixed time. This time I'm free. Even if it's blocked, fix this time, I'm going to show up for you." So that was the benefit I got because of my intern. And it's super good, right? It's super commendable, right? Being part of it. So, but in all your experiences, which one would you say is the most rewarding? While I've been an intern? Yes. Honestly, probably the meeting I just had with my manager. Okay. Because I had like I said, there's been a lot of ambiguity in my project, and I've had to rescope it multiple times just because I wanted to add more clarity and conciseness to what I was able to deliver. Yeah. And I finally gave her a sneak peek at some of the deliverables that I had created. Yeah. And she loved it. Wow. She almost actually gasped when she looked at it and was just singing my praises. And I was like, this is what it's all about. Being able to, put your head down, do the research, put something together and have it accepted the way it was. Yeah. That was a really good moment for me. I'm super excited for you. I'm also super excited for what you've accomplished so far. So let's say I know obviously we have some interns that are looking forward to applying to Microsoft this intern cycle. What advice would you give to people interested in Microsoft or any other tech companies? Got it. Yeah. When you think about what to know about Microsoft, if you're interested in interning there or just any company in general, there's a few things. Yeah. One, this kind of goes back to what I was talking about when I was talking about the interview prep that I did. Yeah. You have to know the company inside and out. True. Know the products, know the value, know the mission, all that stuff. You also need to know the company's performance because that's also give you an understanding of company morale. Higher performing companies have more stability within the workforce because they don't have to worry about layoffs. Yeah. If you're looking at a company that has bad financial performance, they could be susceptible to layoffs in the future. They might not be as receptive to interns. People might be extremely busy. Yeah. It's just our economy is a very interesting one right now. So understanding how your company fits within the market is very important too. Yeah. Understanding the workforce. You got to know the types of roles that are available. Got to understand the types of people that work there and understand the work-life balance. And then also just understand, is this company going to help me reach my goals or is it just going to look good on paper? Because everybody always says oh, I want to work at these top 10 companies because it'll look good. Is it what you really want to do? And is it going to help you in your future? Yeah. Those are the things that I care about most. And that's kind of what the advice that I would give to people. Oh, wow, that's super insightful. Yeah. that's super insightful. I was just thinking about it right now. Microsoft recently shared their I think it was F4, the fiscal year financial reports yesterday. Yeah. And I kind of glanced through it, and it was really insightful that Microsoft is making so much progress financially. Because I noticed that during our MBA we are 37, and that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot of people. Of all the interns I've spoken with, those in product marketing, product management, those in technical product management, the PMM are we are actually the more intense more than the other interns. Absolutely. Because there's the happy hour on Friday that we're gonna have. Yeah. It's an MBA happy hour, right? Okay. And so I looked at the list of attendees to see who else would be there. There's only
I think 45 people invited, and we're 37 of them. So like we're huge. And I didn't realize it was gonna be like that, but like we're very fortunate for that.
Yeah, we're actually very fortunate, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so looking back your application phase, right? Is there one thing that you would have done better or something that you would have redo if you maybe want to start the process again?
That's a really good question. Something I would do better or something that I would redo. I think that the methodical approach of like really like understanding the company through personal research is obviously something I would redo. I think something I would do a little bit better, I guess, would be like just doing more outreach to alumni from my school that worked at that company or even did the internship.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really talk to too many people that did my actual role that I was applying for.
Okay.
Like I talked to someone who interned in HR, someone who might have turned in product management.
Yeah.
But for PMM specifically, I didn't talk to a lot of people who had done that role. So I think that's something I would have done more just to get a better understanding of like what the experience would be like, and like maybe glean if there was any more insight that I could use for the interview. But yeah, those are some of the things I would do.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, so before we wrap up, right, is there any final words that you want to share for like anyone that is listening to this podcast? It could be international student, it could be like a citizen here. So is there any final words you want to give out?
Final words, I guess I would just say like, never let anyone tell you like what you should do. Always think about what's good for you and not what's good for like everyone else. Because I think like a lot of us get into this trap of like, oh, I need to do this because so-and-so wants me to do this or this will appease someone else. But like, we only have one life. So like, you gotta do exactly what you want to do.
True.
And as long as you keep that top of mind, you'll be fine.
All right. So you guys, you heard it right. You have to do what you have to do. Don't let anyone tell you what you have to do. Exactly. So I want to say thank you for being here. It's actually a huge pleasure having you. Sharing these glimpses that you've given out. And I believe that everyone that is going to listen to this or everyone that is listening currently now got so much value. And talking to you, I actually got so much insight and which I didn't know before, but it's a great privilege having you here, and I believe everyone getting this will definitely appreciate you being here. So I want to say, baby, thank you very much for coming.
No problem.
So to our listeners, thank you for joining in. These are some of the things that we are going to be creating every week. And stay tuned for our next guest that we're going to be inviting to share some of their successful MBA and internship application period. Thanks. See you guys next program.